Amanfo asemaba. Proxy voting na yetwemo yi. Eye ba umien kofo ne ya pa. Se eno aso na amanfo de faso di wiamu no. Because omo Canada, US, Germany, Europe, Holland ni edum nyina no. Se bia omo ye nipa 5. Ne wo bia Amsterdam also me vote a. No mo tu nipa akope. Se Germany ye nipa 12 no mo tu nipa baako. Nti nipa baako no ba ono nko abe vote for 12 people ni nyina. Nti hwese sa nipa 12 ede ne omo nyina adwene munye baako da. Betrem so mo twa ticket am baako so wo giko ne ko ya ko vote maye no. Ono ba obo vote amade ono ope. Eno na omo se first aspirant for to mutumi di to omo. Ne most kabi vote me, you know. Wako vote ade amo omo. Ti etwa omo no ahwe papa ba umien ko for da ahwe omo. Ahwe papa because the rest aspirant no obi no ye ne ya. Eyo omo de si etwa omo. Oh, nti se no abakoto wiemu bi anim. Obi antimi wiem. Because according to omo nim your friends say voting process mo no. Omo ka say most of the time in wiemu no if you proxy mo and e man wiemu no ba more. Because if you back for court a vote for 200 people. Back for you vote by 30. It can say nipa by 50 and a free outside Abagana. No mo so mo beto abanama omo nkrofo a na ba ko 200 a say na ba ko 50 kwampo no ba ko 250 a na se di ba 100 a say hwe di twetwam no aye omo ya papa ana ya friends say kwasi kwati so wa chechire mu se kwa ifa so di wewe mu wa chechire mu nyina se the proxy voting city. Nti mo yenko ne nkoti. You hear the backup here the best almost so. Na misro say any first time obi pie channel so bo modern subscribe mame. Na share mo nua so nya behwe. Na kire wadwu no comment section ho. Na mi adoma no so. Na tem bia the fufuro mu a wonsaka. Nyango he.
Voting ya di abam. Dey answer.
Say every time I be internal primaries, we set up a committee with the presidential election committee.
Okay.
And they say Papa Joe Wise.
Yes.
And I chair the presidential election committee.
Yes.
Now say Omono have the mandate from the party to set the rules for the election. Proxy voting on say Pempi yenwa ma omo amanone no. They have a vote. Into MPP, yeah, primaries are the external bodies, no. So UK, US, all the countries that have MPP branches have a vote. The Scandinavians, I think there's 3 votes per country. Some of the countries have 6. But what it means, they say, I will say, omono iyinipa ebe tuabano. Let's say Sweden, 3 people have to come from Sweden to vote. Denmark, 3 people have to come. I think the US and the Americas, because they are bigger, their numbers are bigger. So the number of votes they have, also mutunipa bagana na oba na obe vote in at the election. But in Pempinia na ibia emre any logistics ni ibia nyoma no omutumi etunipa baako. Any papa ne ba or the proxies or omo aka ho no are voted by proxy. The infant said the Scandinavians now more 12 votes no. Omutumi etunipa baako. No the 11 proxy votes aba.
Okay.
That's why in here said nipa 12 ni na fa plane aba. 18 no eno na say presidential election committee decided say they will not allow proxy votes. Obia or pesa oto aba no. The dedicated number for that country, no, muntu nipa no na onye den onfa plain emra na ometo abano. And that is what the back and forth is. For me,
could you mean to say, Ose Obia Amanone, it's me better.
No, the number, every country, your number, they are more.
Okay, so I'm better.
Say the vote as per constitution.
Good. In the identity,
they have the vote. Nobody saying they are denying them the vote.
So what is it?
As per the constitution, there's a set number of votes. Country biano ewo. The chairman is saying, say, Oma Omon Twabao. He is saying, say, it was say Oma Ba, Nipane Ba in person. They will not allow one person to carry 11 votes or one person to carry 5 votes.
Why?
I know dear Mr. Unya chairman and me. I don't know why. No, in the past we've always allowed. In the last election, the proxies were allowed. Why the proxies not be allowed now? No. And no, I don't know the reason behind it. Fine. He's the secretary to the committee. He can explain a bit further the decision. Oh, there be because I said the pros and cons.
Okay.
I don't think they arrive at it likely and they just arrive at it. So one person will disenfranchise it. I think there's always a reason. Decision be beba. Me no, I'm not privy because I'm not part of the committee. Maybe times like a phone calls be but me try nipa be akubia from Alpha just to get an in-depth. But by the time I be pono, Saka yamu no mami information why they decided say omunya progs in IBM no. But I don't think say it will create any problem. Say the one say it is the number of people that have to find the logistics and come. It's not a big deal.
Because Semisha Daily Guide, the Democrat, say chairman of Sweden branch, Richard Oti Abuaji say ono the petition be on my traba no ono on kan or trin film. It is as if say inti asibi nyejuma.
So ono ho. So no back the decision say also biaba. He is backing the decision say progs in Injai because Kwame is also abused. Patwa me kaze binchiro.
Metie.
US. Let's say let's use the US. Let's say the US has 6 votes. Now omo il fami say memra na member you're giving me a proxy to vote 6 times. Because guess what happens? They give you a proxy to vote a certain number of times. And tinipa bako na all bano. Otumi vote to 6 times. And never said the Scandinavians, no, all the Scandinavian countries have 12 votes. Each will vote 6 times.
Okay.
And Tinipa no koshe butimo vote 6 times. No, who do you know he votes for? Because many two members. Ebia me pay Dr. Baumia. But Ebia year to me abano. The decision is that to trema asumesi, not to 2 ema asumesi, because that's the decision of their caucus. Near to Abagana with the proxy. How does anybody know who you vote for? There is a problem I think the chairman of the committee is trying to solve.
Maybe one question. In this day of technology, for technology into
I think when it comes to election voting, paper. Technology problem.
I didn't have problem.
The Florida. Hanging votes, hanging chats. I'll go versus Bush.
But that was the year 2000.
No, but today, still, America, they are still having problems with digital voting. Election there, Kwame, me say, you need near koyese voting electronic massa because technology I could do Subia. Urafi Asame C, was it 2016, December, Aropana, Yenina Yekogu. Airport you say that they are terminating the votes there.
West.
Okay. Maybe a Ghana gas was here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It can, that sort of misinformation can burn a country.
Yeah.
Intimate voting there, Yayan Kratanisa. Ever boy empire because I know the gani kokromotini team so no be a hubi. Now say electronic digital and your ma abel to me, you know. Kwame. Obi president amount.
Playing on a kind post on your Facebook page for Team Ken, no, you are in total support of party decision proxy voting omu for January 31st. Sanet here.
Bunya daily Canada. na mamema pasem no me mono tofa na enye nchitia party no election committee no enche kwa no mo ede wonu communication about say afi edi mabato e beto no wonu mo ebi positive vote film na wonu mo reason what side ye wonu mo dey protected the integrity and sanctity of your process no because if you look at the mood of the party let's bit of mistrust and the other no and Tiadibia a baby did mistrust na ma a compromise the integrity of the process no you support it if you want to buy any who send a council because any crime sebiabu general election crime you be in yakwenya bede ebeto. But we've noticed from previous elections, especially the 2023 general prime minister choir, Abibiano say Nipan will be paid and some money idea, especially through this electoral injustice. One of the ways I want more scheme choose our proxy voting Of course, we don't want to go into the history in election choir, but can they get some data or work in the 2023 prime minister? Obi, ebe on say, Ushemupa about 7% of the votes need to over. Yanka and come here the coca will be for the
Hey, how did you know that? Musi den who sir?
Oh, say obey data analysis. Obey data analysis, but I mean sometimes in the name of peace and of course the unity of the party, no. Rebecca said they're more, they're more money than the also. But I'm telling you, say. But
Kwesi, data analysis when the how people voted in the ballot box, secret voting, no? How would you know?
Say, baby, to say now the you can call no free. So confirm voluntarily. Or more ever report to say or more can, but the choice zero anymore. Unfortunately, the main general election betrayed us because polling stations are almost 200% ma in the general election they all had zero. And we know polling stations, some of them we had constituencies, some of them we had as high as 197, 200 votes. Your one kata said based on your coalition, but you deserve to check the data point. And I'm saying, say, if you do a computation of all these figures, you will come to the realization, say, Ken votes or no. And maybe let's say maybe it could be a clerical error. But the point is say about where you go to we need to make sure say we protect the integrity and sanctity of it. And I make us say one of the ways one more every year and this scheming and manipulations and maybe let me not even use scheming and manipulation. Let me say compromising the process through these positive processes. Will be on principle, can the Japan team any against for external branches coming to vote. But we are saying there should be a comprehensive approach. So be obey to my bank say you say take it a bit mano. And as I say plain a better a Europe, a America, any other let's see all their numbers. Democracy has always been expensive. External branches is not the problem. But situations are will be Ghana here, any party Ghana here, so not your more before a handful. Your more before influential individuals. You who say over to our Ken and I want to certain direction. You are more now issues of threat and warning near the Usu and the Reman are no more from and the side of Ankoto. Over to the assigned form we indirectly you are signing a proxy for so that they are own quarter. And we have the history from the last election. Before Ghana one more ever two position or more or Nare or Nashi, just because a particular candidate felt that he cannot trust them. Decided you could general influential person be any media. You have to then disclaim your right to exercise your franchise, Miango proxy. You see, all will distort the integrity of the person. What the Booking Abu leak audio na Abana. No making allegations very wild like Tampa or non a trend or for drawing delegates to threaten them. Imagine say your sister delegates Ken. The only thing they will say is then do proxy. Now you say you indeed have your votes. And these processes and instances anyway will compromise the integrity of the election. If you have no channel and one machino, a cross or a yanka, one with Sabia, any proxy in the film. Wow, bit about to after all, the general elections will be out of 18 million, about 18 million voters, a voter, Arbon, no be added to me at the Everton. And indeed, even if we still bring proxy or we don't bring proxy, whichever is not everybody who can still come and vote. But why would we look into OBN and can't you be said, will be beating me where electoral box in the let's say 50 or 70 times because a Nipa 70 or more a right higher the Amano. No proper system of verification or cognitive votes on the after saying Amano. And to say that they are that way,
but rather than banning proxy voting in its entirety, why won't you rather push say proxy voting should be done, but this time you put in all the checks. For example, one person cannot be proxy for more than one other person. Inti obi a person auto proxy get a different person now on tomorrow. The situation where one person would be proxy for 30 people, for 10 people, for 20 people, should not happen. And put in place measures because again, the right to vote near constitutional and it should not be seen say a fetter is being placed on anybody's right to come and vote. Inti rather put in place systems, proxy, rather than banning it completely. No?
Bobby, right to vote is constitutional.
Yes.
But the exercise of right also goes with responsibilities.
Absolutely.
Right to vote. You can even renege on your right. At the same time, so we must take up your right. And at the end of the day, it's a balancing act too. And the balancing act, what is the total effect that we are looking at? The total effect is to have a processor. You bet to for another candidate beyond could be out and can't say you see the process we are now process way the SCM. And the other day, and then if you indeed love the party, won't you mean sorry? Maybe I won't say over to. Of course, won't you mean we don't lose anything, so it doesn't benefit any of the candidates. It doesn't go in favor of A or it doesn't go in favor of B. It is also the more reason why we are saying, say, one more for one or two reasons, especially in Momabuchi, will be also why can't you also get a different process of also getting all of them to also come and vote? And Obi, about to young cotton stadium, they will all be in the various constituency. It is all constituency in Kwa and over to I think we should have easy access to go and do it. In any event, Obi, the proxy bow than for proxy amount. Still, people will not even exercise their right to franchise.
Yes.
If you are doing the balancing act and you are looking at the decision at Proxima very close to protecting the integrity of our election there. Now, we will stand with the decision of the election committee. But I don't think you're say, now the petition now because the election committee does not have the right to powers to make the decision. If you have national council the more into your overturn it. But the good thing is that there are other people on also more external branch or also the counter petition about that petitions in if about 30 they have more papers, almost where they are not part. When we take it from me, you proxy free man. There is no way that about me I will get more than 40% in this election. The proxy free man. The proxy way a way to spin things to favor a particular candidate.
But is that a fair comment to make, especially when you have no basis to make such claims?
Obi, I have given you a history of how Kennedy Japan suffered electoral injustice in the last election. I don't speak in a vacuum.
No.
For God's sake, I'm a lawyer.
I'm not saying you are speaking in a vacuum. I mean, you've not proven say Kennedy Japan diena usuonya zero no. Sa number no. You've not proven say Anko Eho. Why do you think say called Dr. Bawumia?
Obi, the other contestants, no.
Yes.
One more, if for instance, my analysis is my analysis, let me say about 7% of my votes. Other contestants, why did you up to 7% people?
But the basis of 7% ne kra no yeah.
Are you shifting the goalpost now?
No, I'm not. The basis of your 7% to start with, no, you cannot build something on nothing. The basis of that 7% ne kra no yeah questionable to start with. Because analysis I must say the party didn't put that information out.
Obviously, I'm not speaking on behalf of the party.
Yes.
I am saying that from the history, and your data analysis, and even shows that last election, the Kennedy and I've given you a figure to that effect. Of course, unless, of course, I say, it figure but you have been able to dispute it, or we all reference the figure electoral commission as a party at the Maya. But I'm saying, say, it is not in dispute. Say, you call no for no. In the probably Edward Mo, some of them they had taking pictures of it. Some of them video Motoma Ken in those polling stations and in those constituencies can still recorded zero. So that is what in dispute. One more binna, we had chiefs like Bugrina calling them to threaten them. Obi, when we left Ken free enough or no, our team, our campaign team said the level of intimidation that they were going through, some of them were even facing a threat of banishment. But we want to issue an advice that this time around, we'll stay by the values of the party.
Okay.
We'll make sure that there is a clean, transparent process. We'll make sure we stay united at the party. Because I find cannot just but what we also not show Obi is weakness.
Okay.
Our team this time around will not show weakness. On the matter of the proxy, we feel say you free man and benefit to be the can also be and benefit to be. We should all come from that plain level. You who said the election committee has made a decision. Right now, even if we say we are going by the proxy, it's supposed to say album no money adinina or more provisional album adinina, because initially they had made a decision they have to amend it. How many months do we have to election? Again, one also my petition against the earlier petition also that honor. Are we also going to give them a right to fair hearing? Are we also going to hear or more a case
petition a supported party decision to ban proxy voting, all right?
Yes. There is another petition. And also support the party, but to ban the proxy. Suppose the amount ban.
Sure.
I am telling you, say, I'm on your 7 year. I did be a JBA the water you, we should be in the way January in Yasi. We will be in baby free. We have made our position clear. So we don't support the idea of proxy. Over to the party should make arrangement to name for Meto. So maybe a party into individual candidates so Yancy say no more than a matter. Nimum will be a who be paid here. Say a timid proxy, a chinchim nipper being sat. Yeah, baby, Nipena, votes, Boha, or Nabia 95 votes, maybe a 92, maybe a chose zero. Yeah, the highest not take about for votes. So I feel a general election where the reboard about me hours or the one the fundamentals are with the exchange rate to expose you. Who are still on your papa. A general election exposes us. The beer, they record 100% in our polling stations. Some polling stations are 55 no more. But they gave them zero in the general elections. What I say?
One final question, Kwesi, would be say, Mr. Honorable Ken, the Director of Elections, which is the Honorable Jojo Rocky Obeng, poster or So I'm on the third paragraph now. There is a part which says that way, I say in some parts of the country, some chiefs are being used to intimidate delegates. They plan to coerce these delegates to accept to give their right to vote to loyalists of a certain candidate through proxy. That way, all persons suspected not to be voting for that particular candidate are made to do same under intimidation. This type of rigging happens only by allowing proxy voting. In this case, one person can be a proxy for as many as 30, 50, or even 100 delegates. And that's how proxy voting is used to rig elections before a vote is cast. Should National Council consider the petitions before them and say, okay, we want proxy to happen, but this time, one person can be proxy for one person. And Obi,
it's just the same activity no more undertaken, but this time maybe with a different approach. Because initially, what Jojo's concern are always, Honorable Jojo concern are always say, I said, Kamabugi Nabu, Edia, to see Udia Kunyawo, Namoa, Udia Kunyawo, Northeast way. I will say, or from Kofor to tell them, say, one monk to my year at Dr. Bama because only your Mukumi. Uduwa, Yerena Onkotwa, near Fre, Ubi, near Ma, what science or be poesy. The first and the Kibia Bako for bit my Ayeni Pateti. The only difference with your question is say, they pay the pateti or mudi, lady pateti, as sacrifice of Mubu Sayede, Amom. And at the end of the day, you are still coming back to the square zero. And the best thing, let's say, one man, one vote, bra, never two, one timametwa, whichever way, now no election a quarter year, Sassanti with the Nipoli Brameto. The whole Ghana Santa reading, who share, or let me say, great Lipo Mobato Yagrana. There was already around 65 to 67%. The whole Ghana when he paid to is in the president. Doesn't mean the president is an illegitimate president. Clearly no. We are saying say we need assistance to come and vote at Mometo. Our target is not even the external branches. There be almost and we are going to be a bit in but situations are yeah near intimidating for him for afre say we not many we the only nipa and you now to my idea suppose you near that is what we want to avoid.
Okay.